Very exciting that you're all here today. We want to welcome everyone to the light and love that is Unity of Lawrence. We're so excited that you're here on this holiday weekend to hear a special message. Please join me. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much. Sometimes my brain just doesn't work. Please join me in opening to that divine presence we know is within us. Together, we celebrate the divine source that lives and breathes within us. We accept ourselves without judgment and accept each other. We acknowledge our place in the environment, and we care for our sacred mother. We carry light, share peace, and live in joy and thanksgiving. So it is. Amen. Our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray with you one-on-one. If there's anything in your heart to be held in prayer, we invite you to see a prayer chaplain following today's service at the front of the sanctuary. Now please stand and join us in singing Sacred Love.
Here we go. You are sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love is all that you are. And you are deepest joy is all that you are. You are deepest joy is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. Now we get to say hello to our neighbors. You may greet and bow. We'll sing you are blessed peace. You are blessed peace is all that you are. You are blessed peace is all that you are. Let's do that again. You are blessed peace is all that you are. You are blessed peace is all that you are.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you, everyone. Now it's time for our unity intentions. Please affirm with me Unity's founding principle. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And now our Unity of Lawrence vision statement. Together, United in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant life for all. And finally, our Unity of Lawrence mission statement. We are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And now, please welcome our special music guest, C.S. Luxon.
You saw me crying in the chapel. The tears I shed were tears of joy. I know the meaning of contentment. Now I'm happy with the Lord. Just a plain and simple chapel where humble people go to pray. I pray the Lord that I'll grow stronger as I live from day to day. I've searched and I've searched, but I couldn't find no way on earth to gain peace of mind. Now I'm happy in the chapel where people are of one accord. Yes, we gather in the chapel just to sing and praise the Lord. You search and you'll search, but you couldn't find no place on earth to gain peace of mind. Now your troubles to the chapel. Get down on your knees and pray. Your burdens will be lighter, and you'll surely find the way.
Thank you, C.S. Robin Goff is founder of the Light Center near Baldwin City and serves as co-spiritual leader and fairy godmother emeritus. She has a background in nursing and hospice chaplaincy, and now her work falls somewhere between the two, focusing on healing and spiritual energy. Welcome, Robin.
Good morning. And good morning to all of you out there in cyberspace. We're happy to have you with us. So we're going into stories this morning. Seem to be impacted a lot by stories. So, once upon a time, long ago, and not so far away, east of the sun and west of the moon, we all lived in small villages, very close to the earth. We had no cell phones. Now, I'm not knocking cell phones. I left mine home this morning by accident, and it kind of shook me up a little bit. Find myself halfway here with no phone. Like, what if I need it? But we had no Wi-Fi. We had no cell phones. And yet we were able to communicate in the most remarkable ways. We could sense the buffalo coming far, far away, long before we could hear the thunder of their hoofs coming across the plains. We knew how to find water. And we could sense in exactly where to drive a hollow reed down into the earth so that we could access water to drink. We knew how to beckon the rains and cooperate with the weather. We knew how to feed ourselves without overgrazing the land or depleting the animals that we relied on for food. And we listened routinely for guidance from the animals, from the land, from each other, and from the Great Spirit. In our villages, the people gathered around council fires, and that's where we brought our Christ light forward this morning to represent fire, that grounding center of our villages. And at the council fires, we would listen to the elders tell stories from the past generations, handed down from one to the next. That's how we learn. That's how we gain experience. So the elders were given the seats closest to the fire where it was warm. And they were given those seats out of respect for their place in the community as the wisdom keepers. The younger people would sit and listen to their stories. So I rediscovered this book that I have had for many, many years by Paula Underwood. I don't know if any of you encountered her. I met her years and years ago. She was in our area for a while. She died in California in the year 2000. But she did a lot of writing and teaching, drawing on the lineage of her people, which was Iroquois and some other nations as well. And so she brought her father's and her grandfather's stories together and created some books. And this one is called Who Speaks for Wolf, a Native American learning story. And here she talks about, she calls it the central fire. The gathering of the people to share their wisdoms toward shared decisions. Know that each council fire was lit as a beacon, forming a center towards which all faced. So we wouldn't be sitting in rows, we would be sitting in a circle. No one of the people was the fire, yet the fire was their center. They gathered their gathered energy, mounting skyward like their prayers, toward the reality which lies beyond. Nowadays, in our culture, we no longer have a deep regard for the role of the elder. We have lost that tradition. We do not gather at the council fires to gather wisdom for the elders. So what's missing then is a collective transitioning into elderhood as part of what we honor as a community at that stage of life. Many ways now, the youth are much more adept at gathering their information from the internet rather than sitting listening to old people talk. Yeah. So the voice of the elders has been replaced in many ways. So those of us who are in our elder years find that we have very few role models for how to be that, how to be the elders. I can't think of many older women that I have had in my life that I could emulate at this stage of my life. Little bits here and there. Maybe you can think of some from your lineage as well. So what that does is it makes it difficult for us when we reach our elder years to find our place in the community. It's kind of a no man's land, a searching. So this is one of the things that is keeping us from being able to move ahead with all that we have to do on our plates right now, as we are faced with a very rapidly changing world. So the way I think about what's happening on the earth right now is like, you know, when you have little symptoms that come up in your body, say you have a little headache, and you ignore it because you're busy with stuff to do. And so that headache gets louder and bigger, trying to get your attention, saying, slow down, take a nap, whatever it is that you need, get out of the heat, until we get sick enough that then we begin to pay attention to our bodies. Well, the earth is doing exactly that now, right? So we've had all these canaries dying in the coal mines for decades now. And we just go about our business doing things the way we do things, always. So every now and then, things happen that really gravitate and gather our attention, like a major hurricane flooding the whole East Coast, decimating New Orleans once again, or the fires, or this, or that. So I had one of those moments this summer when I was visiting family in Buffalo, New York. And we have a lot of ash trees dying here in Kansas, but in New York, when we drove through the countryside, there were dead ash trees everywhere. It was very visual, it was very much in your face. And then we get struck again with the impact of what's happening with our environment. So we have warnings coming at us, and the earth is speaking louder and louder and louder. The old 2x4s over the head. And all of us know people whose lives or homes are being threatened now by acts of nature. This is climate change. So we've spent way too much time bickering about whose news is fake news and whose ideas are right and whose ideas are wrong. And this political impasse that we live in our country is blocking forward movement for the whole world. Make no mistake. So we are looking at the demise of our entire habitat, for heaven's sakes. There are so many issues that are so big that we just go on living without looking. Like, how about a $28 trillion national debt? You know, how does that hit you? How about endless wars that do no good for anyone, except maybe putting money into some pockets? And how about our people feeling hopeless and suicidal? We want to respond. Every one of us, we want to respond, but we feel locked in helplessness. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to move ahead. And we are carrying enormous amounts of grief around all of these issues. The other day I was watching Free Speech Network, and Pioneers has some beautiful little spots that come on. And I could never go back and find this again to know who this was a quote from or how to find this particular quote. So I have to paraphrase it. But it was someone saying, my great-great-grandchildren will not let me sleep. I hear their voices and they ask, what did you do once you knew what was happening? What did you do while it was all unraveling? My great-great-grandchildren won't let me sleep. So our culture doesn't really want to talk about it, particularly American culture. And we must. Only by breaking apart into 1,000 little pieces, falling into our grief, can we discern what really truly matters and what is of value in this world? And to make those giant leaps ahead to become more authentically alive. I'm not afraid of grief. No, I worked for 10 years as a hospice chaplain, and I discovered through that and my own walk through major losses in my life, what a powerful healing process it is to walk through grief, to let myself fall apart and then very, very gradually put myself, my life back together. And it's always a spiritual growth process. So it's going around the spiral over and over again. And it takes as long as it takes, and we do it as many times as it comes to us, as we get hit with those losses. So grief calls us to reevaluate everything. Capture what truly, truly matters in your life. Our hearts are breaking wide open now so that we can listen. Listen to the wisdom that is already there in us, through us, and then through others that we sit with. So I've come to love Mac McCartney's work. This is his book, The Children's Fire. He has some beautiful things on YouTube as well. So this is what he is saying. All parts of the emerging news story are about integration, collaboration, inclusion, and wholeness. We need to reclaim eyes that can truly see what is spread before us. We have to bring all of nature to our altars and acknowledge the sacred in the ordinary, everyday living. We have to bring it home where it belongs, with families, communities, food growing, and then on out into the broad territories of work, education, commerce, art, science, and technology. We are being asked to imagine ourselves anew, to accept and grow our talents without collapsing into the arms of hubris. We are invited to come home to what we love, to develop and deploy our gifts, be mindful of our responsibilities, and in continuous exploratory dialogue, move into action. And isn't that where we are right now at the Light Center? You know, many of you know Sharif Abdullah, and we have been working closely with him for quite some time now about this concept of creating an awakening center. And now we're calling it the Awakening Center Laboratory at the Light Center, meaning that this is a space in which we can sit in deep listening, in deep connection, and discover new ways of doing every system in our life and in our culture, redoing it all, creating it, co-creating it from deep within and deep without. I had a moment recently of listening in deeply to Mother Earth, and the words she spoke were, I cannot communicate unless someone is listening. Okay, that's over the head for us, that we must create that at those times, preferably out in nature, but to be taking that time to listen and listen deeply. We need to be the receivers. The senders are there, ready, at work, all around us all the time. Thinking in terms of the broader perspective of all of nature, the spirits of the land, the spirits of the animals talking to us. My friend Karen Frick recently referred to the space we are building and expanding at the Light Center as an interdimensional portal. Sounds kind of woo, doesn't it? But it's actually an expansive thought when you go into that. Like, how can we communicate more interdimensionally with all that is there in place? the way we used to do when we lived on the earth in villages. Yeah. Sharif talks so much about blending consciousness, that work of being open and receptive to what is coming through each one of us through our highest guidance. So, the story of Who Speaks for Wolf by Paula Underwood is about a tribe, and they needed to move to a new space. They had outgrown the space they were in, so they all went about searching the lands for a place to move the tribe. And they found a spot that was beautiful, with lots of space to grow their food and a river flowing through. And they said, this is the place, this is the perfect place. But one young person who was very deeply heart connected to wolf said, I don't think so. I don't think there's enough space. That's where the wolves go. That's where they live and breathe and feed. But the tribe said, no, 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 this is the perfect spot. Let's go there, let's move there. And they did. And then gradually, as time went on, someone would go out and kill a rabbit and hang it in a tree while they went to get something that they could prepare the rabbit for cooking. And when they came back, the rabbit was gone. And there were wolves that they could see close by having a lovely dinner. And so what the tribe learned through this experience was that they had ignored the voice that was speaking for wolf, saying, no, 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 there's not enough space here to bring a bunch of humans in. And I had a similar experience to that, talking with the deer at the Light Center, who also own much of that space. And so it was that the people devised among themselves a way of asking each other questions, whether a decision was to be made on a new place or a new way. We sought to perceive the flow of energy through each new possibility, and how much was enough and how much was too much. Until at last someone would rise and ask the old question to remind us of things we do not yet see clearly enough to remember. Tell me now, my brothers, tell me now, my sisters, who speaks for wolf? And so Sharif and I have agreed that we are taking time to listen to the animals, listen to the land, and proceed with great respect and great caution as we enter into the land that belongs to the deer and the wild turkey and the coyotes and the raccoons. They disrupt their space a bit. So, I invite us all to think about taking our seats at the fire. Sharif and I are totally committed to this work because we have both had powerful guidance come to us and said, this is yours to do. And so we know that we are living our life's purpose on purpose. And so when I have these moments where I think, oh, crazy enough to want to live this way, to try to build this bigger, greater awakening center lab, maybe I'm crazy. Then I remember that no. It matters whether there's one, whether there's two, whether there's 50, whether there's 500. It matters nothing. What matters is that I live on purpose with great care and attention. And then that we honor the process of working collectively in a new way, in a more powerful way than perhaps we had before in our lives. It's time now for us to do that. To honor the importance of gathering in circles for deep listening. There can be nothing more valuable at this moment in time. And by gathering that fierce courage to stand as leaders of possibilities, of better ways to live, to role model that for those who are coming along beside us. even when the grief seems too much to bear. We can stand as one and claim our place as earth-loving people. So, Mac McCartney speaks about the children's fire. Some of you probably have heard me talk about the children's fire. We're lighting the children's fire often now. This will be our children's fire day. At the Light Center, we have a space that we created just for that purpose. And so this is an ancient Native American tradition, and many elders taught Mac McCartney about this concept. And when we get together to discern, to listen, to share together, we first light a symbolic children's fire that speaks. No law, no decision, no commitment, no action. Nothing of any kind will be permitted to go forth from this council of chiefs that will harm the children. The catch is that this pledge is only the beginning. To live by the promise of the children's fire, you will be required to walk as a peacemaker, honest and courageous, profound version of yourself. The most let me say that again. The most radical, profound, honest, and courageous version of yourself that is possible in the time you have to be alive. So let's return to our story. Imagine your grandchildren's grandchildren gathered around the fire, telling stories of the earth in 2021, when the great unraveling began in earnest. What will they say about us? What will they feel when they realize that we knew it was coming for decades and failed to respond? Will they speak of the generations who did not know how to gather their own food? Will they speak of those who did not know how to live when the weather was too hot or too cold? Who would only drive their own cars that burned fuel that turned the sky to gray? Who did not change because the truth was indeed just too inconvenient? Or will they say of us, they were the ones who learned how to build the homes that people could afford and would keep us warm when the winter winds howled? The ones who cleaned the chemicals from the soil. The ones who walked away from the corporate-owned systems and said, no more. Will they honor us as the ones who reestablished the council fires, who called us back to the wisdom of the elders? Will we be remembered as the ones who created new systems that the earth and all her children could heal, and that all of our great-grandchildren might live a better way? We are the ones who will decide the answers to these questions. It is time to choose new ways to live. For me right now, I am claiming my seat at the fire. And I invite you, each of you, to open your aching heart that feels heavy with the weight of the grief of the world, and let it break wide open to all of life, so that collectively, together, we may beckon a world that works for all into being. And so, Great Spirit, we do give thanks for this opportunity to walk on this planet at this point in time in the transition of the earth, and for the great courage that it takes to be here now and to step up to lead the way forward. Thank you, Spirit, and so it is. so we turn within for a moment of deeper connection. Invite you to feel yourself seated at the fire. Imagine its light lighting the faces of all those around you. As it symbolizes our joining together of our hearts and minds. We invoke all of the powerful spiritual energies that surround us to flow in from earth and sky, filling us now as we sit together in deep listening. Feel into the field of great love that we are creating together. And as I send you a sound forth into this room, allow that to bring even more frequencies of energy into every part of your being, into your bones, your cells. all time, all ages, all beings everywhere, that is in you, that is at your breath, at your fingertips, waiting to be expressed forth into the world as you. So we take this children's fire and pull it now into your being, knowing that as you do that and make that commitment, that everything is changed forever. And so it is.
We've been through some things together, with trunks of memories still to come. We found things to do in stormy weather. Long may you run. Long may you run. Long may you run. Although these changes have come, with your chrome heart shining in the sun. Long may you run. It was back in Blind River when I last saw you alive. Oh, we missed that ship on that long decline. Long may you run. Long may you run. Long may you run. Although these changes have come, with your chrome heart shining in the sun. Long may you run. Maybe the Beach Boys have got you now, with those waves singing Caroline, rolling down that empty ocean road, getting to the surf on time. Long may you run. Long may you run. Although these changes have come, with your chrome heart shining in the sun. Long may you run. With your chrome heart shining in the sun. Long may you run.
As our ushers come forward for our time of thanks, I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community in our hands and love in our hearts. Let's affirm together. Divine love through me, blessed and multiplied, all so it is. If you would like to use a debit or credit card, please see Kathy in the office. You may also go online and do it via PayPal. Thank you. As the love offering is collected, let's join Holly in singing I Am Alive with the Spirit of God.
I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. Let's sing that one more time. I am alive with the Spirit of God. 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 I am alive with the Spirit of God.
Thank you, Holly. The ushers come forward. Let us pray. Grateful, grateful, grateful. We bless the flow of good that supports our unique community. We bless the givers who give their time, talent, and treasure. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth only to return again and again. And so it is. Opportunities. A special welcome to our guests today. Thank you for joining us. If you're here for the first time, please pick up the welcome packet in the lot. The lunch bunch is meeting at Papakino's at 837 Massachusetts Street. All are welcome. If you have a favorite restaurant you'd like to add to the list, please see Kathy in the office. Join us for community's first book club meeting of the season. We will meet this Thursday, September 9th at 6:30 on Zoom to begin discussing the book, Creating a World That Works for All by Shri Prabhupada. A few of these books are available in the office to purchase, or you can go online. Go online to commonway.org. For the Zoom link to the meeting, please go to unityforums.org or look for the event on our Facebook page. Next week, Reverend Stephanie Barber will bring us the message, Mining Diamonds, with special music by Stephanie Bland. Now it's time to sing our youth.
You are walking in the light, come on. As the light, 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 as the light of God. In the light, in the light, in the light, you are walking in the light, in the light of God. As the light, 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 as the light of God. As the light, 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 as the light of God.
Good morning, everyone. We want to say first a great big thank you to our elders. Some of you may be grandparents, some of you may be parents, I should say yes, that's our job. But to you, we want to say thank you. We want to show you the love and respect that you as our elders have given us. We done it, I'm sorry, I get so amazed. But anyway, I'm not nervous. Trust me. It's kind of hard to read, talk, and go through these masks. But anyway, we talked about our elders today. So our affirmation is what? We say it real loud. One more time. We were comparing the elders to three different animals. Elephant, owl, and the penguin. So we were comparing, I didn't make this up. Okay. The elephant showed strength and courage. The owl is the wisdom. Of course, we know when we get older, we need like kings. We did a lot of walking. We can those make those comparisons to the elders. Out of all of it, it's out of the show of love and respect that God has for us to show and give to our elders. We love you and we thank you.
Thank you. Our youth, brother, hands together. Say with me.
We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you. Oh,
Love you, bless you, appreciate you, and you hold the divinity in you.
Now let's sing this song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, children glory. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be our moment now. With every step I take, let this be my song and vow. To take each moment and live each moment, peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin
Please join me as I give prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us.